All right. Hi, everyone. My name's Alex. I'm the Technical Sales Manager at AST. Thanks for joining our webinar. We're going to be covering some functions around Bluebeam, using it in mining today. The webinar is going to be presented by Ash. I'm just going to do a quick introduction, and then I'll hand over to Ash to take you through today's webinar. So just a little bit about AST for anyone who doesn't know who we are. We're a software, hardware, and services provider for the AEC industry. Some of the key vendors we look after: Bluebeam, Autodesk, Adobe, ESET antivirus, and hardware for Dell, HP, Lenovo, and we also brought on Microsoft Surface recently as well. And then we have a professional services division, CAD West Bureau, who look after architectural drafting, FM systems for facilities management, and other professional services for the industry. One of the things we're going to cover today, we're going to cover navigating large document sets using page labels, bookmarks, hyperlinks, and things like that. Toolsets, customizing tools, saving tools, and then studio sessions for collaboration and collaborative document review. Towards the end, we'll have some time for Q&A as well. So as we go through today, please drop your questions either in the chat box or there is a Q&A tab as well. We'll monitor the chat and we'll answer them as we go through as well. And if there's anything that we want to answer live on the call, we'll do that as well. But yeah, thanks for joining, everybody, and I will hand over to Ash to take you through the webinar.
Awesome. So basically what Alex has mentioned, in this session, we'll be walking through some really practical features in Bluebeam. They can save you and your team some time. First topic that I'll be covering will be the navigation tools. So the first part of navigation tools will be setting up page labels. So let me just pull out a file that I can work with for this part. It's just on the left-hand side of the panel. You can access file. Cool. So by default, most documents will be labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. Seen here. When you're working with a big set of plans, normally it's very hard to navigate around the drawings, to find the different drawings as well. What we want to be able to do is to eliminate as many of these time-taking tasks as possible. So essentially, page labels let you rename the pages with something more useful, like the drawing numbers or drawing title, for example. So in the bottom here, we have our sheet title and number. So essentially what you want to be able to do is rename this instead of the page numbers. So what this does makes it quicker to find the page you want without scrolling through every single pages. So how can you essentially do that? Just on the left-hand panel, where thumbnail is, just a small 4 boxes. Just head on to that, click on that, and then just on the top over here with the half rectangle and just like a sun symbol at the bottom, click on to that, and it will pop up with a create page labels. You can click on page region, that, just click on select, and what he essentially wants you to do is capture a certain settings or image from the page that you are on, so that you can kind of capture that too. So what I'm going to do is capture a sheet number over here. So that's going to be my first region that I've selected, and preview of how it's going to look like on the page label. So I want to add another region as well. So you can add as many regions as you want. So in this case, there is a sheet title as well, so I want to add on to that. So how I want to separate that is just by adding a dash onto it, so it just kind of separates the sheet number and the title as well. And then once I've done that, you can click on add. Essentially draw it like that. As you can see as well, when I'm capturing the image, I'm kind of drawing the boxes bigger than what it actually is. The reason why I'm doing that is because you want to be able to pick out all the images as well as certain documents in certain pages might have longer sentences or longer numbers as well. So you want to be able to capture everything from all the pages as well. So hence, decided to like to put the boxes a little bit bigger than it is essentially. So once you're kind of done that, you can see in the previous section that it's captured the sheet number and the sheet title. So once you're happy with that, you can click on OK, and I want it to be done for all the pages. So that's all good. Click OK, and what it does is generates the page labels for you. So as you can see now, all the pages has been renamed accordingly to the sheet title and sheet number without having to manually rename each pages and wasting a lot of time. On the first page, however, as you can see, it's come out as a dash. The reason why is because the system has not captured anything here just because it does not have a sheet number or title on the side. So what you can essentially do for that is you can kind of rename it, just right clicking onto it, and you can just manually rename as cover page for this section. Cool. So this is basically creating page labels. So just helps you navigate through documents way quicker and faster for yourself. Cool. Moving on, be going on to creating bookmarks. So very similar to page labels, bookmarks help you also navigate through hundreds of pages to find the section that you need. They're essentially a shortcut of pages in a PDF that you can name and click on, letting you jump straight to the important parts of the document. Where you can find bookmarks, just on the left-hand panel right over here, just below thumbnail, click onto that. So essentially right now at the moment, bookmarks empty. So you want to be able to create a bookmark. So how you can do that, just on the top over here where it says bookmark, just on the right, it says create bookmarks. Let's left click onto that. So essentially it's very similar to page label where it asks you to select a region. In this case, I will be selecting as default page labels. The reason why is because I've just created page labels previously. So all my pages are already pre-labeled instead of being a number. So I can just leave it as it is. However, if you're starting off doing bookmarks before page label, you can do the same thing as creating a page label by selecting the page region and selecting on to the page sheet or the page title. In this case, I'll just leave it as it is and I'll just create OK. And as you can see, it's automatically generated the bookmarks for me on the left-hand side. So now I can just click onto the different drawings without having to navigate through each file one by one and find what I need immediately. Cool. So this is creating bookmarks. Very simple and easy navigation process, which essentially helps you navigate through the documents way quicker and easier as well. Moving on, I'll be talking about more about extracting and combining of PDFs. So sometimes you only need to send, let's say, a part of a document to someone, or maybe multiple people need to work on the same document set, or maybe you just want to combine a few files into one. So extracting essentially lets you pull out just that pages that you want, while combining puts multiple PDFs into one. So essentially helps you clean up and share the exact pages people need, nothing more, nothing less. So in this file that I'm working on, it's a combined file at the moment. So all these different separate PDFs are combined into one single file. So show you the extraction part of this. So in this case, let's say I want to extract certain pages from the file to share across to someone. How you can do that is just by going on the top menu bar, it's on the document section at here. Click onto that. Just right below here, there's an extract pages. Click onto that. Essentially, we'll come up with certain options here of how you want the extraction to be completed. You can either delete the pages of extracting, you can extract the pages as separate files using the labels as well. What I want to be doing is turning this off so it does not open up. You can even select custom ranges of pages that you want to extract out as well. So in this case, I'll just extract out all the pages, let's say. I'll just leave it as the page label so it gets labeled when extraction happens, essentially. So then once that's done, you can click on OK. You can do it where you want to put it into the extracted files. In this case, I'll put it in my mining demo file. So once that's done, you can select, and extraction has been completed. And you can double check that just by going back to that mining file. As you can see, when I'm in the mining demo file, all the files have been extracted separately. Essentially, then you can now send these separate pages across the board without having to send the whole file as one. Cool. So that's the extracting part. Let's say now you kind of you need to have all these files combined again. So how you can kind of do that is by just going onto File at the top menu bar. It's in the File section right over here. You can click on the Combine section over here. You can go on to Add over here. So this essentially has all the kind of functions that you want to click on and turn off as well, depending on your preferences. In this case, I'll just leave it as it is. I'll just click on to Add. As you can see in the mining demo that I've just extracted all the files, they're all separated right at the moment. So I want to be able to combine everything. So you can just click on, just select all the files that I want to combine. You can click on Open. Everything is all here now. Once you're happy with that, click on to OK. And as you can see on a separate file, everything has all been combined back into one file. So yeah, essentially this is basically extracting and combining of PDFs. So yeah, so this is just extracting and combining of the PDFs. Just helps you navigate through certain documents, and if you want to kind of extract files, helps you do that easier and quicker as well across the board. Next, I'll be touching on search text. So let's close that for now. Just work with the original file. Awesome. So yeah, next I'll be touching on search text. So it's on the left-hand side of the panel. If you go down, it's right over here. Search button right over here. So essentially, what search text is digging through a long report to find a word or a number, which normally would take you some time to find if you're just looking through it and scrolling and trying to find something. So for example, you might have certain words in the document that you're trying to look for, or a certain number like, I don't know, zone 2 of blast that you're trying to look for, but scrolling through might take you a lot of time. So what you can essentially do is go to the search text and you can search for what you're looking for. For example, in this case, let me try to look for roof. And it just tells you where roof is being mentioned in the separate pages of the file. So essentially, it allows you to navigate through the document quicker and allows you to find what you're looking for quicker. Cool. So that's search text as well. You can essentially also select the ones that you kind of want as well, and also highlight it if you want to as well. Just click on to section right over here and just highlight the text if you want to highlight if you want to find it quicker next time you open the document as well. Cool. So that's search text. Next, I'll be touching on batch hyperlink. here. Awesome. So yeah, next would be batch hyperlinks. So essentially, when you're looking at a drawing, you want to be able to click and go to the right page straight away. For example, like large drawing sets often have section markers. In this case, have certain section markers showing a more detailed view of the sheet within the document set. So what batch hyperlink essentially does, it creates a clickable link across a lot of drawings or callouts. So you can click on a detail or reference and it takes you straight there. So essentially you'll be, once you create a batch hyperlink, you can click on a drawing set and it will automatically take you to that specific page. So how you can do that is just on the top menu bar, it says batch right over here. Click on that, and just on below this link button right over here, you can create a new one. Let's put that zoom out a little bit first for you. Awesome. So click on the batch link, click on new. So I want to do it on the file that I'm working on. So just add open file. So essentially just the file that you're currently working on. Then click next. And what I want to do is kind of similar to setting page labels as well. So you're kind of selecting a specific, capturing a specific regional certain things that you want it to kind of capture. So in this case, I want to be able to capture this sheet title, sheet number, sorry. And you have your region and sheet title over here. You click OK once you're done. And once you have kind of previewed that, and you can generate, so it kind of locates all the numbers in the drawing that's located in the different pages. So once you're happy with that, you can click on Run. So it's kind of detected 74 hyperlinks has been created. Each link has been completed. So once you've done with that, close it. Essentially, if I now go back to my section marker, if I click on this just to know which drawing it came from, you can click on that and it automatically tells you where it comes from without you having to kind of navigate around and look for where it came from. So essentially it just creates a hyperlink to help you navigate faster. So basically with batch link, you can streamline the entire process, allowing you to effectively navigate around the sheet. Cool. So that's batch link, hyperlink in a nutshell. Moving on, next topic that I'm going to be talking about is toolsets. So creating toolsets, customizing your tools. Essentially, if you're always using the same markup or symbols, it's a pain to redraw them every single time. So toolsets is a way to kind of save your common markups, like equipment symbols, hazards or signs, or custom annotations for reuse. So this makes it a lot more quicker and easier to mark up plans and also keep things consistent across the team. So where you can find your tool sets will be just on the left hand panel over here, tool chest section over here. So these are all the tools that are here by default. You can see. Cool. So let's go into a drawing. So in creating a tool set, so basically you have a couple of different options of how you can mark up. So first option being on the right-hand toolbar. So on the right-hand side, you have your text, your highlight, your Cloud Plus as well, your call, and etc. Or you can always go on to the menu bar at the top where it says Tools, and you can always mark up more as well through here as well. In this case, say I'll create a text right over here. As you can see, it's pretty small at the moment. The reason being is due to the preferences settings being auto-sized to the text of what's on the file here. So how you can kind of turn that on and off is just through the preferences on the top hand bar, where you go to menu. And if you just go into tools, you can auto-size the text box and call out markups accordingly to the drawing that you're working on. And so essentially when you kind of create this as well, you can right click onto it and you can add some letters as well, some leaders. You can add more leaders if you want to, depending on where you want it to be. And let's say you've kind of accidentally added a leader, you can right click on it again and delete the leader as well. Then we have your cloud and callout as well. You can kind of draw into this. You can add just all. You can play around with the leader and kind of point it to a direction that you want it to be. So just put it as wall here as well. Right, sorry. Cool. So and a really cool feature that Bluebeam has is a feature called Cloud Plus. So essentially what this is a combination of a cloud and a callout. So essentially what it does is once you click on that, or you can either click K for shortcuts. So you can draw a text cloud first and then draw a callout to it and put a text onto it as well if you would like to. Draw this. Just put ramp here. So yeah, so it's just I guess a quick way of kind of doing all in one rather than having to draw a callout first and then having to draw a cloud and then kind of attaching it to a text. So it's kind of like a combination of all of those and all in one. So as you can see, once I've kind of clicked onto that as well, there's a properties panel that pops up on the side as well. You can click onto that. You can kind of edit the different features of the markup that you've created. Or also there is a top properties toolbar as well that pops up, which is a more simplified version of the properties on the side here. So essentially, let's say now I've created this, want to kind of customize it accordingly. Let's say the lines, I want to make it blue. Fill up the color as well. And then if I click on to highlight, it kind of plays around with the opacity. So basically, it kind of allows you to see through what's on the bottom without having to kind of hide that section over there. And you can also play around with the opacity if that's still not transparent enough for you to see what's underneath. You can play around with that as well. So that's for the cloud side of things. And then on the right hand side, it's where it's for the callout properties. So you can play around with the line of the callout as well. You can put a text field as well if you want to. And let's say I want to change the color of the text as well. And let's put a line onto that. So cool. So I've kind of customized this accordingly, let's say, to what I'll be needing for a markup for my different projects across the board. So obviously you don't want to be kind of creating these all the time whenever you're working on different projects, especially if you know that this is something that you're going to be reusing it over and over again across the board, or this is kind of like a standard company practice that you need this markup. So what you essentially want to be doing with customized markups that you've kind of made is to be saving them into the tool chest, so you can kind of reuse them over and over again without having to manually redraw it all the time. So how you can do that? There's a couple of ways you can do this. You can either right click on, once you selected the markup, you can right click on it. Just at the bottom where it says add to tool chest, you can add to any of the tools that you want. Let's say in this case, I'll just create a tool chest for myself. So I'll just create a tool right here. You can even create tools. So instead of all these other tools that's already preset here, you can also create your own tool as well. So in this case, I'll do my demo. So as you can see, that's blank at the moment. So what you can do is once you've created that custom tool, you can add that to the mine demo, and it will come out here saved as well for you to use whenever you require to use. So essentially, this allows you to reuse it over and over again. So there is two modes to this as well. There is the drawing mode and the properties mode of once you've saved it as well to the tool chest. So if I click on it right now, it will come out as by default the same size, the same shape as the one that I've originally created. So let's say you don't want that, you want to kind of reuse it, but reshape, use it in a unique shape of the markup. So how you can kind of do that is you can change the properties mode. So you can either double click on it, or you can you can right click on it and click on properties mode. Essentially what that does is it allows you to use it, but create a unique shape of its own, but keeping the same unique settings of the shape, the colors and all of that in the properties of the markup. So essentially you wouldn't have to redo it over and over again, and you still have the same properties mode of the markup. Cool, so this is markup. So another thing is, so let's say now you have created a bunch of markups across the board, and obviously you don't want, let's say you want to be able to, you can also share them across the board as well. So let's say you have a company project that you're working on, and you want to be able to share that across the board so everyone can be consistent on the markups on different projects. So you can also import and export the markups that you have or someone has created as well. So how you can do that is just by going on to tool chest over here, manage tool chest. You can either take and click on what you want to kind of click on that. And let's say you want to click on this and you want to import the mining demo that you've kind of created. For that, you can either import or you can also export from someone that have kind of created the markup as well. Cool. So that's pretty much tool chest in a nutshell of for doing tool chest, and also I guess customizing the tools. So essentially what tool chest is it just makes it quick and easier to mark up plans and also keep things consistent across the board, especially if there is also a new user to Bluebeam in starting out in the company and you want them to essentially have that same customized markup using across the different projects as well. So this keeps it more consistent as well across the team. Cool. So the last topic that I'll be touching on today is studio sessions, how you can set up studio sessions. So essentially what studio sessions is you're sending PDFs back and forth. In the old ways, you usually send PDFs back and forth, which can be a bit messy, especially if you're doing through emails, and causes a lot of confusions as well with the versions of markup and non-markup kind of things like that. So essentially, Studio Session allows you and your team to kind of work on the same file at the same time online in the cloud. So essentially allows you to mark up, comment, review documents together, whether you're in the office or whether you're out on site. So where you can kind of see Studio Sessions will be just on the left-hand side of the panel. Just at the bottom right over here. Just at the bottom right over here, you can see Studio. Essentially looks like a symbol of a house. So how you can create a studio session is just by going on the plus sign right over here. You can add a studio session. So just on the top, you have to be on the sessions part of it. And then you can click on to add new session. And let's say I'm just going to work on the file that I'm currently working on. No. And permission as well. So basically, what this essentially is whoever you're inviting to the session, you can kind of give them permissions to either do add documents, if they can do markups, or they're just essentially there to kind of just view the document. So you can kind of set the permissions based on what the projects you are currently working on as well. And also you can restrict the attendees by email address. So what this essentially is basically if you don't have this, so anyone with a studio session number, so essentially this can join the session without permission. So basically you want to kind of select that so that it is kept within the team. So basically only people with an email invitation can join the session. So essentially just keeps it more confidential as well and private as well. And you can also choose to click on the session expiry as well, depending on the due date of the project. So essentially you can click that as well if there's a need to do that as well. And then once you're kind of done with your preferences, ticking off the preference side of things, you can then click on OK. Oh, sorry, you just have to create a name as well. So I'll just name this as my demo top using this document. Okay. So now the session has been created. So I'm just gonna add Alex into the session as well. Oh, looks like Alex already requested to join as well the session. So then if someone has requested to join the session, then you can go into it will come up with a pop-up like that, and you can kind of see who has requested to join, and you can allow them to join the session just by clicking allow. Okay. And as you can see now, Alex is in the session, he's online. Cool. And there's a couple of things you can kind of see in this interface of the studio session. Just at the bottom is the chat section where it shows who's joined the session, who's added a document, who's kind of done certain markups as well. We show when someone has done a markup as well, kind of show what's been done, or you can either chat to people in the session as well. As you can see, Alex has added a Cloud Plus here. Ty has also requested to join the session, so I'll just allow Ty as well to join the session. Also, as you can see, Alex is doing a couple of markups, but at the moment, as you can see, you're not too sure what he kind of is doing. So you can just click on the markup and it will automatically bring you to the markups that he has done as well. So you can kind of follow him as well. And another cool feature about the studio session is, let's say you want to kind of see what Alex is doing all the time, real time, on real time, rather than just clicking on the chat and to see what he's doing, you can go on to the online part of things. You can click on write and you can follow an attendee. So if I click that, I can see Alex move his cursor, what he's doing currently in real time on his computer side of things, and see what he's marking up and what he's looking at. So you can kind of follow the attendees as well, while working on the project as well. So it's a really cool feature that they has on the session where you can kind of collaborate real time with your team or external contractors as well. Cool. So another thing is as well, let's say you are out on site and you can collaborate, you get invited to collaborate for a session as well. So you can work offline as well. There is an option for that. So on the top over here, it will show just if you click onto that, it will show would you like to work offline. So let's say if you don't have internet access while you're on site, especially, and you want to work on document, you can do that. Still, you can still do your markup. However, once you will not sync automatically, however, due to the internet not being connected just yet. So once you're done marking up on site, on real time, when you're done doing that and you come back home or you come back to the office and you connect it to an internet, all the markups that you've done offline will automatically get synced to real time again, to the online session. So at the moment, Ty is adding a couple of things as well, so I can follow Ty as well, see what he has added. Cool. So so this is studio sessions. So once you've kind of let's say you're kind of done with the session now, and you want to generate a report. So what you can do is there's a couple of ways you can do that. Let's say this session has not ended yet, but however you just want to generate a certain report, you can do so from the bottom section right beside the chat where it says report, and click onto that. You can generate a report in PDF package or record of summary just to see what markup has been done, or you can end the session as well. Just leave the session. You can go to finish session. Once you've finished the session, it will automatically let you know, do you want to generate a report at the end, and where do you want to save the report as well. So it's a really cool feature where you can kind of do all the markups and then get a generated report at the end to see what has been done. So just click OK onto that. So it's just generating a report for me at the moment. Cool. So let's generate a report. So let's put that out on the side here. You can see just right over here. So this is the report that's been generated from the studio session just now, where it shows you all the date, time, document, who's added what. So it kind of keeps track of who's done what on the project as well, and who's added certain things into the project as well, and the time and the date that they have done the markups as well. So it's a really cool way of, I guess, tracking things as well and keeping it in the report once certain collaborations has been done for a project. So essentially, it just allows you to work and collaborate effectively with internal teams or contractors externally during real time, and also makes things a lot more smoother for collaborating and communicating with each other. That kind of brings us to the end of the webinar, actually. It's the last part for myself. Up till this, does anyone have any questions?
Ash.
Let's pass that back on to Alex. So
We'll get back to a couple of questions shortly. Just a couple of things quickly. If you need help with Bluebeam, if anyone who purchases licenses with AST, feel free to reach out to us, support at advancedspatial.com.au, which will create a ticket, and someone from our support team will get back to you very quickly. If any urgent questions as well, feel free to give us a call on 1300 672 888. From within Bluebeam, you have the help menu and the help guide, which is quite useful, and then also Bluebeam University. All right, so we have some time for an open Q&A. If anyone has any questions about what Ash has shown, feel free to ask those. Or if you have any just general Bluebeam questions, pop them in the Q&A tab. I'll also open it up so that you can unmute yourselves and ask questions if you would like to. So I think we have something in the Q&A, but just let me fix the microphones. Bear with me 1 second. Okay. Okay, so we have a question from Charles. On Studio, can we edit others' comments? No. So Studio is designed with security to stop you from being able to edit other people's comments. So obviously there's some accountability to the comments. You can reply to people's comments, which you'll see within the report. Ash, can you bring up the report if you want to share your screen again? We'll just show a couple of things in there. But yeah, so you can't edit others' comments. If someone was to leave the studio session, let's say, for example, Ash is the host of the session, Charles is one of the users, maybe Charles leaves the project or leaves the business. When Charles is removed from that project or the studio session, those comments can be reassigned to someone else to then be able to be edited if they need to be, but generally no. So you'll see in the report here down the bottom, Ty added his image into the markups, and I replied to his comment there. So we can reply to people's markups and add more information to it, but we can't edit them. Hope that answers your question, Charles. So,
hi, how are you?
Hey, Charles, how you going?
Good. Just wondering, because if we can't edit, are we able to delete it? Because if someone's just for example, if I'm an engineer, I'm sending the drawing, the markup to the drafter, and I'm doing some markup, and once they finish the drawing stuff, and are they able to delete it or edit, or they have to put in others' comments on it and say completed, done.
So while it's in the studio session, no, you can't. It's designed so that it has integrity as to who can sort of edit and delete their own comments, so no one else can. If you were sending it then to your drafters, for example, once it's out of the studio session, you could remove things, but you can also use statuses. There's a function in the markups list where you can approve and reject things as well. So if you wanted to reject someone's comments, you could do that. But yeah, you won't be able to delete someone's comments from within a session, no. Cool.
Thank you.
So we have no worries. Thanks, Charles. We have another question from Sammy. So created a signature and forgot my password. How can I change the password, or how can I delete other signatures if I had created multiple? The short answer is you would need to recreate the signature. If you don't have the password anymore, you can't use that signature, essentially. The signature is obviously a security thing. If you forget the password for your signature, you just need to create a new one. Deleting other signatures, to refresh on that, bear with me 1 second. I'll come back to the question on deleting signatures, Sammy. I think we had another question I saw as well from Jerome. So in the toolset, can you import CAD symbols for ease of markup? So yes, essentially. You can't necessarily just import them as such, but you could print them to a PDF from CAD, from AutoCAD, or whatever you're using as your CAD program, and then snapshot them. So let me bring up. Ash, can you bring up a file and just show how we can snapshot symbols and add them to the tool chest?
Yep, just a second. Awesome. Are you able to see my screen?
Yep.
Awesome. So essentially, there's I guess, a symbol that's been imported and kind of added here. You can snapshot that just through the right-hand side of the toolbar. Just click onto that. And then it's kind of created the exact image of it. You just can just copy paste it by either clicking on the right, pasting it, or by just Control V on your computer keypad. So essentially, you can kind of snapshot and copy, I guess, that, and you can right click on it and add it back to your tool chest to reuse it as a symbol, I guess.
So just going back to your question, Sammy, on the digital signatures, if you don't have the password, you also can't delete it. So you need the password to be able to delete it. If you do have the password, you can go into the digital IDs window. Let me, I'll share my screen quickly. Show you that part. Oh, okay, so under Tools and then Signature, you've got this Digital IDs window here. And if you have too many signatures or you've created ones you want to delete, you just select the one, hit the X here. You can here, but you lost the password. Unfortunately, it'll just sit there forever until you need to get rid of it, and you just have to create a new one to be able to do that. All right, seeing a few more questions come in as well. Okay. So, question from Jordan. Tried using the page label function while compiling documents. The pages on the document are in different sizes. So when I've tried to use the page region to capture the drawing number, it doesn't always capture it. Are there any way to standardize the document sizes before I use the labeling function? Yes, there is. The only problem is, depending on how it's like the document set's created, when you, I guess, change the size of the page, there's a potential that the title block is not going to sit in the same spot, but you can edit the document size. So if I go and open something up, bear with me a second. Okay, so for your question, Jordan, under document, you've got page setup here, and it'll bring up batch crop page and setup in here. You just hit next. In here, you can actually change the page size. So if you, for example, wanted to move this down to an A3 size, you can do so. And it should shrink everything in there. So you can do it for certain pages. So the specific pages that are the wrong size, you could do that. But bear in mind, yeah, it's not necessarily going to fix your problem depending on where the title blocks are. Because if the title block's still sitting in a different spot, then you're going to still need to use different sections to do the page labels. That function does rely on the title block being in the same spot, not different ones. And we had another question from Rahoy. How can I add a signature and not a digital signature? So you need to somehow get your signature into your tool chest, basically. So the easiest way I found to do it is if you have a phone or an iPhone. I can't draw my signature with a mouse. I'm awful at it. So the iPhone has an app called Freeform, which allows you to just draw. And I've done my signature with a finger. That exports as a PDF, and then you can actually bring it into here as a PDF and then snapshot it. So let's imagine we've got signature here. That comes in as part of the PDF. This would be flattened as part of the document. And then you can just snapshot it and add it to your tool chest to reuse. Add that to your tool chest. Tools in there, and it gets added in like so. The differences between that and a digital signature, obviously that's just a scribble on a page. It's not actually setting any security settings. A digital signature is designed to actually secure the document and do that. So another question from Jordan. On the search function, are we able to search for pictures and photos in the document? I realize there's a button next to the text search button function. Yes, and that's what that's for, Jordan. So in the search panel, you've got text searching, and then you've got visual search. Visual search allows you to pick up an image in the drawing and search for that. So for example, let's find something in one of these drawings that we can use. Let's say we want to search for the toilet here. We can go into the search function and go to visual search and hit get rectangle. Left click and hold around what we want to pick up. You can play with a few settings, things like sensitivity. Bring it down, it'll pick up more results. Up, it'll pick up less results. Filter out different colors, different rotations. Limit by selection, what that does is when I picked up the toilet, it picked up this little line of the wall in the background. What limit by selection does is it tries to filter out things that it doesn't think is part of the search term, which is filtering out that line in the background and that kind of thing. So you hit search, and yeah, that will try and find all the toilets in the drawing. This is not a perfect function by any means. It often misses things, but yeah, you can use that for the purpose of counting, highlighting, doing a whole range of different stuff. So I can apply a count to all those, and it'll show me all the toilets it's picked up. It's done a pretty good job today. Sometimes it misses some, but it generally gives you a good start as to what you find. And if you need to add more to it, you can just right click and go to your count and things like that if you're doing it for that purpose. Got a question from Hamish. Is there a way to add people's digital signatures to a specific area to or open PDF drawings automatically? You could add your own, but not other people's. So the digital signature is a specific person thing, but there is a batch sign and seal function, which will allow you to, I'm going to save this file, but you can batch sign things across multiple different documents if you need to, which will, sign to a specific spot that you place it to. So yeah, I don't really want to demo that because I haven't used it for a long time. So, but yes, is the answer. You can do it. If you want more info on that, Hamish, just let us know and we can run you through it offline. And then another question from Hamish. After one person has added their signature, can others still add theirs once one person's digital signature has been added and the drawing is now locked? So that will depend on how you do your signing. So if I add a signature field to this, so there's two different options when you do a digital signature. A digital signature won't necessarily lock the document, but it will mean that any changes that are made after that digital signature has been placed will invalidate that signature until the person signs off on it again. Document certification allows you to set certain settings. So it allows either no changes allowed, people to be able to fill in forms and digital signatures, or markup fill in forms and digital signatures. So In the case of your question, Hamish, generally you would set probably this, go to document certification and fill in forms and digital signatures, and that will allow other people to still sign after you've done your signature and it's locked it. Set no changes. Nobody. It just depends on what settings you set. Are there any other questions? Just bear with me a second. Just pop a message in the chat if anyone's interested in any further training on any of the functions we've talked about today or Bluebeam in general. Please reach out to us on training at advancedspatial.com.au and we can discuss how we can help. Jordan, I've got a drawing that has a lot of drawing layers. Assume it's probably exported from the CAD files. Makes the file really big and not practically usable. Are there any functions where we can flatten all those drawing layers, hoping it could reduce the file size to a reasonable size? I'm not sure what effect it has to the file size, but you can delete those layers, yes. So in the layers panel, this file doesn't have layers, it's not from a CAD file, but in the example that Jordan's talking about, sometimes you get a file comes from generally like AutoCAD or a CAD program. It'll have pre-existing layers printed with the drawing in the layers panel here, and those layers contain the actual drawing content. If you right click those layers, you can delete them and it'll pop up with a message. Let me see if I can get one to come up with me a sec. Just create one just as a markup. Let's imagine this is a drawing content layer, put some markups in it. This, I think the same message pops up. So whether it's a markup layer or a drawing content layer, it should pop up with a message when I try to delete this, and it goes like this. This will remove the layers from page content and annotations. The content and annotations can also be deleted. So are you sure you want to delete the layer? You can either delete the layer content on the page and delete the layer annotations or not. So if you uncheck those boxes, it will delete the layer, but it won't delete the content. So the content will remain on the page, but the actual layer itself will be deleted. I'm not sure what impact that has on file size. I haven't tested that. I need to probably test it with a specific file and get back to you, Jordan. But yeah, if you wanted to delete the actual layer content as well, if there's like content of the drawing that's not really relevant to you, you could delete the content of the page and that will definitely reduce the size of your file. From Charles. Just wondering if it's possible if we can have more tool chests from Bluebeam library, civil/mining. Do you mean like a pre-existing toolset, Charles? If you want to use that and clarify for me, that would be great.
Oh yeah, it's like when we see in like tool chests, like it's have a few like symbols we can use, but is there any other like symbol we can download from the library, like Bluebeam library, and just like created by someone, and we have like probably like a 12D or others to apps. We have like a society to share like all the like the IDs and the toolbox, etc. stuff.
So, yeah, cool. So there's two main, I guess, downloadable tool sets that are out there in terms of pre-built ones that are just kind of freely available on the web. Bluebeam have their own, and then there's also this one that comes up on Reddit, which is this Chapter 2 one. It's the guy in the US that's built them. The Bluebeam ones are quite limited. I don't know what they have, an oil and gas one, which will have some P&ID stuff. They don't really have anything other than that for like specifically for mining and civil. There is some MEP stuff in there as well, but not heaps. This one is probably better. this up. These are all the different tool sets that this guy's built, which you can download from here. Instructions on how to actually download them, but I'm not sure again what mining sort of stuff is in here. Let's have a look. What's in there? Not much really. If you have specific tool sets you want built, there's a valves one and things like that. So pipe takeoff, plant handling. So there's a few different sort of mining, I guess, equipment and things like that in here. Civil grade markers. So there are some downloadable ones in here. Just have a look and find which ones you want to. You just click them, download them, and then you can import them in. When you download one, let's do one just. They send you an email with all of them. For the Bluebeam ones, you just click the one that you want, and it downloads it in a zip file, and you just need to extract that zip file. Second. Cool. So we would just extract that zip file, then just double click the tool set, and that will import it straight into Bluebeam for you. If you have specific tool sets that you want built, we do that obviously as a service as well. So feel free to reach out to us and we can help sort of build those and work through that with you and how that looks.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
No worries. Thanks, Charles. Any other questions from anybody? Right. Well, if we don't have any other questions, we can wrap up. But yeah, thank you very much, everybody, for coming to the webinar today. Really appreciate all the questions as well and the engagement. It's really useful and I hope everybody has learned something. Thank you to Ash for presenting. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to Ash or myself or training@advancedspatial.com.au and we'll be able to get back to you with some answers. Yeah, thanks for joining everybody and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.